When you wish upon a star, your dreams come true. Isn't that a catchy little tune?
Well, how do? Cricket's the name, Jiminy Cricket to be precise, and I'm here to tell you one humdinger of a tale. It's a story that begins a long time ago. Well, actually, it's a story that begins once upon a time, a long time ago. That's right, much better, much more precise.
Late one night in a little Italian town, Jiminy Cricket enters the home of old woodcarver Geppetto, joined by his pet cat Figaro and fish Cleo. Geppetto has finished work on a doll mannequin which he names Pinocchio. Prior to resigning to bed, Geppetto makes a wish on a star. A couple of hours after the fact, the star mystically rejuvenates Pinocchio and he is before long visited by the blue pixie, who lets him know that assuming that he acts daring, honest and caring, he can be a genuine kid. The blue pixie additionally selects Jiminy the obligation of being Pinocchio's still, small voice to show him right from wrong. At the point when Geppetto stirs and finds Pinocchio alive, he is at first stunned, however becomes thrilled. Following a couple of days, Geppetto concludes that Pinocchio ought to go to class and sends him there. Notwithstanding, Pinocchio was before long drawn nearer by scalawag fox and feline pair Fair John and Gideon as they persuade him that he ought to carry on with an existence of distinction to genuinely be a genuine kid, when they truly need to offer him to the mannequin Ace Stromboli in return for riches. At the point when Jiminy, with the assistance of a seagull named Sophia, persuades him to keep going to class, Pinocchio is tossed out by virtue of being a mannequin. Pinocchio chooses to go to Stromboli's after all, with Jiminy incapable to stop him when John puts a glass container over him. At Stromboli's theater, Pinocchio becomes a close acquaintance with one of Stromboli's workers Vitelli and her mannequin Sabina. Pinocchio puts on a decent act for the group, however Stromboli secures him in a bird enclosure to keep him from truly leaving, needing to take advantage of Pinocchio for everything he has. Before long, Stromboli's mentor winds up liberating Jiminy from the container, and when he enters the mentor, he figures out how to assist Pinocchio with getting away when Pinocchio has him arrive at the keys to the lock on the enclosure by lying, since that makes his nose develop. Geppetto, Figaro and Cleo go out to search for Pinocchio when he neglects to get back home for supper. Before long, Pinocchio was swiped up by a mentor brimming with youngsters driven by a charming coachman who is taking the young men and young ladies to Joy Island, and all where misconduct is energized. At the point when they arrive at the island, Pinocchio gradually gets upset by how much mercilessness the children commit, doubtlessly arousing a lot of bemusement for a rowdy kid named Lampwick. At the point when Jiminy, who got isolated from Pinocchio once more, comes to the island, he before long figures out that the young men and young ladies there get transformed into jackasses, and the coachman offers them to the salt mines with assistance from his haze-like cohorts. Pinocchio observes Lampwick get changed himself at a pool corridor, and he and Jiminy get away from the island before the coachman and his hooligans can get them, yet not before Pinocchio acquires a jackass ears and tail. Pinocchio and Jiminy successfully return to Geppetto's, nevertheless find that he's not home since Sophia provided him with a flyer of Joy Island to tell him where Pinocchio is, and that he offered every one of his clocks to purchase a boat to go there. While attempting to find Geppetto, Pinocchio reunites with Vitelli and Sabina, who let him know that Stromboli has been captured and they have assumed control over his mannequin show. They offer Pinocchio to go along with them, however Pinocchio declines, needing to save his dad, which makes his jackass parts vanish. Sophia pulls a rope for Pinocchio to hold out to the ocean, where they before long track down Geppetto in his boat. Similarly, as they rejoin, they are gulped by a Goliath ocean beast named Monstro. They take shelter in a monster boat in Monstro's stomach, and Pinocchio gets the plan to make him wheeze by lighting a fire inside him. The arrangement is fruitful, and Monstro wheezes them out, yet he gives a pursuit that closures with him and the gathering crashing on dry land and delivering Geppetto oblivious. Pinocchio thinks Geppetto has kicked the bucket and loses hope before Geppetto comes to, and before long lets Pinocchio know that in spite of being a mannequin, he has won over be a genuine kid on a fundamental level for everything that he's accomplished, and they withdraw for home. Jiminy then breaks the fourth wall prior to finishing the film.
And since then, many stories have been told about him. People say he was transformed into an honest-to-goodness real boy. Did that actually happen? Who knows? But I do know one thing for sure. In his heart, Pinocchio is as real as any real boy could ever be.